Yes.
That was a good book. And and on the Audible, it show like it'll bring up automatic his other ones. I listened to the preview.
I want to
of
listen
one.
to All Sinners Bleed.
I think
Terry McMillan got a new book coming out.
I saw that.
Okay, if you had to rate this book on a scale up to 5.
Up to 5. Okay.
5 being the highest.
Y'all ain't gonna like me on this one.
And I'm very critical about my books. I have a couple books that are very close to 5. And when I say a couple, I mean like 3. Perfect Peace. Well, in order, Yellow Wife was like up there for me. One of the best books of all time. Perfect Peace. And then this book by Ladarian Williams. He's actually going to be
like that one.
tomorrow. Blood at the Root. Yeah. That was a good book. And it was more so what it represented than it was the book itself. Like the book, I felt like was good, but when I was young, I used to try to get into Harry Potter, but like to know that this was like Harry Potter-esque, and it was like all black, and it was at an HBCU for like black superpower people.
Yeah.
It was just something I'd never seen before. So he gets it by default.
Okay.
And then Verity, of course, was a really good book. And then I would even say The Housemaid #1 was really, really good.
Did y'all see that they graded Make Verity a movie? I saw something on.
The first book we ever read, my all-time favorite.
I know. It's like nothing can
get me there.
Yeah, Verity.
Nothing can get me there.
Okay, so if I had to score the book on the scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, I would give this book probably a 3.95, which is pretty high for me. And the reason why I say 3.95 is because it was a lot, like Finding Tangerine was like too long for me. And even some of the, like, I got it. Y'all didn't feel like good parents with the kids. I got it. It was like, this book reminded me of how I felt when we read The 7 Husbands. It wasn't to the end where I was like, oh my God. Whereas when I read Verity, and even when I read Yellow Wife and Perfect Peace, it was never a point in time where I was like bored.
Right.
No.
Okay.
The book was consistent.
That kind of goes back to like what I was saying earlier, is because I took a 3-week break in between. I only went back to the second half of the book Wednesday. And finished yesterday. Because the second half is when it was like, oh, okay, we kicking ass, we doing this, we doing that.
It turned it up a notch.
Yeah, but it definitely took a while to get into it. And when you kind of had sent me like the excerpts to read before you chose the book, I definitely thought it was going to be 2 young boys that went off somewhere and were killed. I had no idea it was going to go that way with it.
I didn't think it would be due to sexual orientation. I didn't see it being that. This book earned a lot of respect for me because I feel like it talked. For one, I like when black people talk about black shit. Like I read books that were about black people, that was about slavery, but it was written by white people, and I don't like that. I like that this is a black man from Virginia. I'm reading everything he was saying, some of the colloquialism he was talking about, some of the sayings he was saying. I'm like, my grandma said that. Some of that stuff is I like that. I appreciated that. And I appreciated this is a book I can give a black man who may not read, and he will finish this book. Because I you get what I'm saying?
In the prison system.
It would. Because the goal isn't for me. You get what I'm saying? And I think I have to keep in mind that this author, I don't know if this book was for me. I don't know if this book was for us. This was a black man writing about what it feels. It's a difference in my mind on having a daughter who may be lesbian or messing with girls, maybe sort of, than it is having a black son who is married to a man and a white man. That is just like,
it was so many levels of it.
It is.
Like so many levels that it touched, with them being interracial, being gay, having an adopted daughter. Then when Tangerine came in the mix, before he even figured it out, I knew it. When he was talking about those pictures, I said, oh.
He kept saying it was a little boy. When I thought the mother had dementia. When the mom, y'all remember in the book when she was like Terry, and she was like, "Mom, it's Tangerine."
Right.
I thought it was a nickname.
I know it too.
I said she must got
I said no. I said
amnesia or something like, she must be getting old, she must be senile. But once it revealed that she was trans, I went back, and when he said he saw a little boy in the picture that looked like her, and then I thought about it too. Most trans, to be a woman, I can look my worst and you still know I'm a woman.
Right.
Even at my worst. But most trans have to look so hyper feminine to look like a woman. Yeah. When they kept saying she's beautiful, I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. Because it's the trans woman I see a lot of the time that's so dark. That's why sometimes I look at women that's naturally, like just they're natural born women, and I'm like, why are they so dramatic with everything? Sometimes with the over makeup, the over hair, it makes you look trans.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it looks like, because that's the basis of that art with the wigs and the beat faces.
Yeah, the beat faces.
Yeah, that is from.
It's true though.
That's it. It is though. It is.
This is my opinion.
Okay.
But I think he did a great job. It's so many words in there I was unfamiliar with.
What you call it? Colloquialism?
Colloquialism.
Loved all of them.
Yep.
Loved all of them. One of them I wrote down and I forgot to bring it. When he said,
I remember. You told me.
When he said, you so tight. You so wound up. You squeak when you...
I think the part that was kind of... like for me, it was kind of like, okay, how fast Buddy Lee put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
What a W. Anybody could have had that W. In the middle name, but he put that thing together instantly.
Buddy Lee was my dude.
Yeah.
Loved him.
I imagine Buddy Lee being 60 some years old, build overalls, broke down.
And I imagine him looking like Tommy Lee Jones. Is that his name?
They kept saying that in the book too.
I
had to look up who that was.
Yes. Okay.
Like, I was like, that's why I see like walking like just the old
but
white
I guess
guy
the
country.
illness and the accent made me picture him older, because even though I know they both were near the same age, I still gave youthful.
Yeah.
Because, when you think about it, how old were the boys in their 20s?
Yeah, they was in their 20s.
So they were probably in their 50s.
But I will say, it took me a minute to... I was thinking this time had taken place a little... I didn't realize it was in 2024, 25. It took me a minute to realize, okay, they're talking about now.
Was it the accent?
I don't know what it was, but I thought it was because they were so homophobic, like.
A lot of black men still are.
Yeah.
A lot of black men are indeed.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this was further.
They are.
I was thinking this was
that type
further
of
back.
Yeah.
Type country, like where they was from, and those rural areas.
But it's funny though, because if you think about it, it was in Richmond.
I enjoy hearing all the areas
from Richmond.
Right, but then I started thinking about, like, when we talk about the country roads, I'm like, okay, this is like going to Carolina. Or going
that probably
to
was
Charles City.
The motorcycle gang.
The motorcycle gang was something, wasn't it?
I'm like, okay, I could see it all playing out.
I think because we're in it, like because I frequent DC so much, and Maryland overnight, we are definitely in the South. And we are, and I realize it so much when I go up there. Mind you, the Mason-Dixon line is like very close to there, but culturally we are different. Like when I'm up there, the white people look different. Like we really do have full white trash, and it's a range of white people, but I feel like we do see that all the time. We do. I mean, we do. Charleston is down the road. Yeah. Charleston is that the guy that painted the inside of my house is like little sketch, but that is the norm out here. And when I was
people refer to Sanston white people.
Yes, they do. The type that go to the Now Mount Walmart is very different than Western Henrico. Stop.
It is.
Stop, because that I don't do that. That's the problem right now. Is that everybody wants to be so clean and filtered overnight, and this is the truth. This is why he wrote that book, because the reality of it is most black men, it's a fact
that they are homophobic.
Homophobic, and some of it I'm not necessarily like mad at neither.
Mm-hmm.
What I think this book was trying to get them to realize is that, like, you don't have to agree to somebody's lifestyle to still love them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that was the big point that they got super early in the book. Like, way before halfway, after feeling the loss of their children.
Yes.
That's when it was like, dang, we missed
They
out
were
on
father.
so
They were
much.
just father.
You were father first.
Yeah.
You know, so
most
most cultures outside of America don't agree with homosexuality. Like, nearly all of them. So it's not, I don't fault people for, you're not necessarily homophobic because you prefer your children not to be gay. And then you put the layer on it that you also black. It's just, it's such a different reality than some of the people who I work with who, you know, they white and gay, but their reality a little different than the ones that's trans and gay and black. You know, it's different. And so it's like, for me, I wasn't mad that he was necessarily, and he was in prison where, like, homosexuality is so different. So I wasn't more so mad at that. I was disappointed that you disowned your son because the relationship's supposed to trump their sexual orientation. But in most cultures, it doesn't. It doesn't.
And like he never, it's like, it felt like he was like gonna get there if they hadn't been killed. You could tell like he would have gotten there.
But he tried with the, he gonna try with the little girl. I felt that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's his do-over.
And then Buddy, and we gotta think, these are not two people who are just regular good Samaritan citizens. You know what I mean? Like, both of them, Red Onion is a real prison.
No,
and I know people in Red Onion.
Yes, Red Onion.
Red Onion is a real prison. And then he was incarcerated, Ike was incarcerated for 15
what
years.
Red Onion for all the time.
Buddy Lee was in Red Onion.
Okay.
No,
And then,
Ike was in Red
What
Onion.
was Ike at?
Ike was somewhere else. And the place he was at, I had to look up. Because they didn't exist.
But
it didn't exist?
Not from what I looked
I
up.
don't know why I thought
I thought Ike was in Red Onion.
It was
Buddy
Buddy Lee. Buddy Lee was in Red Onion. But the point being is that, like, even if you are a nice going guy, in prison you have to be even more macho for survival.
Because he joined with the Muslims so he could have some protection.
Right.
When he was in prison.
Yeah, Ike did. But you could tell that Buddy Lee was just Buddy.
What about when we found out Buddy Lee was the one that vandalized the
Look, you gotta do what you gotta do to get him on board.
But what I realized
I was
was,
mad at Buddy Lee for that.
I was.
What did he do?
He the one that vandalized
the tombstones and stuff. But he did it
I
because
missed that part.
I guess I wasn't mad because I knew that he wasn't doing it out of hate. He was doing it because he knew he had to push Ike over to convince Ike to come along with him to get.
But what Ike said when Buddy Lee was in the hospital, you got the big black angry man.
because he had choked him.
To do all
But
your
if you
dirty
read,
work.
if you read even further, like in the very, very, very back, when we get introduced to Buddy Lee's brother, he asked him first.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Yeah, at the bar.
He asked him first. And his brother told him, no, I'm not going to help that faggot.
He sure did.
And that's when he put that knife to him, because his brother didn't even get the opportunity to completely say the word. And he was like, I asked you for your help, so you are going to give me those keys in order to. So I figured he didn't initially go straight to Ike.
Right.
He tried to go to the brother first, because the brother is the most dangerous person he knows. Rightfully so. That was the one with all those guns. The brother said no.
That's the second one.
With guns.
I thought somebody was closing the door. The brother said no. You know, the brother was racist, so you know he's homophobic. He was racist. He was like, and I thought it was funny. Buddy was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot you don't like Virgos."
Yeah, that's why
the whole time he talking about black. You know,
I didn't realize that his Virgos meant to blacks. I was like,
You should know better than to bring somebody like that to my shop. He gestured to the parking lot, pointing to Ike. Ike was standing next to the truck talking on his cell phone, and Buddy Lee, "Oh, I forgot you don't like Virgos."
Wow.
You're like niggas, you know. But these are type of, again, like living in Richmond. Like I've seen Buddy Lee.
It's like them little we had one in our house called the dugout. Them little
bars,
where like you
I mean,
know,
Veronda's full of them.
Yeah, Chester is full of them.
You know, just like that little store in the intersection, Jack's Place. All those years, black people never went to Jack's Place. As soon as they passed away, I don't know what happened with the husband.
Yeah, you know when I lived on you. That store.
That little store in the middle.
We stayed away from that store.
I'm talking about the whole. Any black people person in Verona did not go there. Now that's all
the
they
spot.
get, because now they sold it. Somebody else has taken over.
Okay.
So the wife initially died. They kind of opened it a little bit. I remember my first time going in there. I was like
that.
The walls.
I mean, it was like that back in the day when I was down there with your grandparents and them. Like, we knew not to go there.
Yes.
It was almost like the day.
And this was in the last 10 years.
Yeah, when we lived in the apartment, because Grandma and Kim would walk up there.
And I ride past the dugout because that's near my job. So when I go the back way up that way,
Look.
I see the dugout. I go, oh, that's a cute little bar right there. I wonder where that is.
So this is it right here. Just the part. He was talking to his brother Chet. You talk all that shit about being a patriot and a warrior, but when I came to you about finding the people who did Derek, you acted like I asked you to rope the goddamn wind. He was your nephew, but you couldn't be bothered. I tell you what, that man out there talking about then roll with me harder and deeper than you ever have. He's the brother I should have had. But you can fix that now. You can help me make all this right. So you can either hand me them keys or I bleed you and take them.
I know that's right.
But I promise you, one way or another, one way or the other, I'm leaving with them. Chet bare his brown teeth like a rat. Buddy Lee pressed the knife deeper into his taut flesh of Chet's throat.
We come to find out, Buddy Lee ain't had nothing to lose.
Yep. I knew Buddy Lee had cancer. I just felt it. I felt it.
It was that coughing.
Yeah,
coughing.
That coughing.
And the wife asked him.
Yep.
She asked him first, and then Ike finally kind of was like, "Look, what is it?" Wait a minute. Did they recover the knife at the end?
So all of this ended up being blamed on Buddy Lee.
Yeah. Buddy Lee took the fall.
Buddy Lee took the fall, and because Buddy Lee was deceased,
right,
they could not charge him.
Yeah, right.
One thing I appreciated about
the cop
Ike
knew.
The cop knew.
The cop knew.
Yeah. And that's why he came.
But
and
he
said
was a Richmond cop. Stay at home.
Yeah.
And he said it was too many jurisdictions.
But he said he had too many jurisdictions. What I appreciated about Ike, and that's why I said this book, that's why I gave it such a generous rating, even though I know they probably think less than 4 is not that generous. But this was not for us. If I could give this is for my dad. This is for my uncle. This is for Kevin. This is for them. Because they are able to, this book held on the conversations that we have in house and that we have in culture that can get a little sticky when you having conversations with people outside of our cultural circle. Right. This is that. And I think black men, especially again in this new age time, where even if you raise your kids one way, they got influence from other things. They might be a certain whatever. This is going to be, to me, I think it's what did I call it? A masterpiece in its own right. Because it's touching on today's time, but it's using a black man that I feel like we all know would have the same thoughts if this was presented to him in real life.
Absolutely.
Ike was my dude. Ike reminded me of your daddy. I was reading your daddy. Well, I was listening as I walked the track at football practice. And Ike was saying something. He was like, I said, Ike is my Uncle Martin.
I saw Kevin is like, he smiled, but a handful of times.
Ike was my
even
dude.
of that.
Yeah.
I like also too that Ike was like, how I think we know it, but like I think people forget that black men are so complex and so much in one. Like you can be a felon and a genius and a father and you can be all of. Ike is the reason why all those men died. With that whole bomb that he did with a CD player, with him using the manure to cover up. Ike is quick on his feet. Ike is, he's a genius in his own right.
And
he had a good business. He had a good landscaping business.
Making great money.
They burned this house down.
I would love to see it as a movie. Because that's what it gave me. Like when they were in that fight and stuff. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, these two old men kicking ass and people underestimating them.
Exactly.
And they loved each other at the end.
They did.
They were.
I cried when he went back to that grave site I kept feeling that at the end I was just like, oh, I don't want to keep scrolling. Because I knew somebody was bound to die. And I kept thinking it was going to be the little girl. And then I thought it was going to be Maya. I knew it would be somebody close. But I felt like it had to be Buddy Lee.
Yeah. Maya. Ride or die.
Ride or die. Every time he kept saying, I'm going to get him, she never was worried. She said, good.
Right.
Because she wanted it. She know who she married.
She kept saying good. So I knew the dynamics.
She was ride or die and the little receptionist.
Jazzy.
Jazzy. But the motorcycle guys came in, Jazzy held her piece, and then she was like, I'm out.
I'm out.
Come back in the
She
mode.
took care of Tangerine though.
Yeah, she did.
She said, Jazzy said, I was a CNA for a week.
For 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks. And you think I'm a nurse.
But that's
so hard.
That's black people. Because Bud, when my mama got her license to be a nurse,
Bud said,
my motherfucking daughter. I mean, she know all that shit. And honestly, I feel like that's why they didn't go to the doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, let me call Shanetta. My mama like, you need to go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the family physician. But that's how they are. But I don't know. Did you finish the Doctor's Child?
No.
Okay, so
I gotta finish
in that book, the mama is batshit crazy. She got 10 kids.
Yes, she is.
Batshit crazy.
I'm as far as when she had the last baby, the older sister came back, and then the mama gone.
Oh, it gets worse. This is one of those books where like it's amazing. One of my I should have mentioned that the Doctor's Child also top ever all time.
Did I read that one?
I don't think so.
She needed that after the yellow one.
Amazing book. But the point being, the oldest daughter works in the food services at the hospital. She works in the kitchen. The oldest daughter. The mama and the oldest daughter moved out of town.
Right,
She was from Detroit or something, but they from Georgia. So the mama, my mama bet she crazy. She telling everybody in town, yeah, because my daughter is a motherfucking nurse. She like, Mom, I work in nutrition. I'm a dietitian at the hospital. She said, shut up, you is a nurse. And I'm like, that is black people for you. One thing we gonna do, you get a title. We gonna hype you up.
But look, y'all, what about Derek Mama, Buddy Lee ex-wife?
Oh, she was interesting.
She was
very interesting.
And I don't think she was super surprised that her husband had some kinky ways.
Exactly. But she didn't care because she was
a cat woman
who came up.
And that's maybe why he chose who he chose.
Yep. Because she
her ass about to be ran over by a car up in that house if she didn't get out there.
But he chose to sleep with somebody who was polar opposite of what his wife was.
Black woman. That part, I just was like, whoa.
When that came all together, that was really, oh damn, I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
And I think, or either she was mixed.
I was about to ask y'all, listen,
is she
this
black?
morning, I was like,
Tangerine is black.
I think Tangerine is biracial, and I'm gonna tell you why. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep going. I'm gonna find it.
Because her mama, I think the mama was. Did they say the mama was white?
Let me tell y'all, I just was.
Hold on, was Tangerine from Charles City?
No.
Because Charles City got up in there too.
They went through Charles City, but they lived in one of them other counties.
Prince George, was it King William?
They lived some of the places they were naming. I hadn't
Matthews.
heard
of. Most of them I was aware of now, but that one, whatever they were, was that the one past Caroline?
I kept envisioning Caroline every time you're talking about the dirt road and going down, because I've been down there with, remember Jack, Didi Go Babysitter? I would go with her. I'm like, oh yeah, they in Caroline. So that's all I kept envisioning.
It's that
Caroline,
fence, that
country.
fence. When you see that fence,
that
it's
dirt
Caroline.
road. It's the dirt road.
But it was so crazy because this morning I was like, wait a minute. Is Tangerine black? Why do I think she's black? I just wait to ask
but they never
y'all
said what color Tangerine
They
was.
didn't, did they? I'm so
Here it is. Yes, she is. I'm telling. I knew it. Biracial. Okay, so when they got to her house, right?
Yeah.
A dining table stuck halfway out of the kitchen into the living room. Tangerine picked the shotgun put the shotgun on the table. Terry, who is that? That was the mama saying that.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking she got dementia, but
they ain't had to do the mama like that.
So here it is. A tall white woman came from the back of the house.
I knew she was white.
She was wearing a floral house dress and flip-flops. Her doughy face was partially hidden by lank blonde curls that spilled to her chin, right? And then remember, here it is right here when they saw the pictures of her in the living room. It says, framed pictures were scattered over the walls. I saw a younger version of Lunette with a diminutive brown-skinned man in some of them. In others, there was an older Lunette with a few more miles on her face and a bright-eyed little boy with a mixture of her and the brown-skinned brother's features.
Taryn, I didn't even pay attention to that.
Okay,
But see,
and it was something
that's
that happened.
I know that's.
But from the very beginning, before they put eyes on,
Tangerine was beautiful.
She was, and trans women a lot of the time are because they hyper feminize. The long exaggerated hair. You want it to be believable. And that's why a lot of times, and I will say a lot of men who consider themselves heterosexual, a lot of times, especially if they're the type of heterosexual men who don't really like women. They like to sleep with women, but don't really. A real man know the essence of a real woman, of a true natural woman.
yes,
Truly.
yes.
But when you have men that are merely just attracted to women, that are spiritually gay, but but they sexually like women, she does not look like a man. So that's why a lot of them hide that they're gay, because to them, she's a woman. She's a woman until it really, she still have her parts. She has male parts. But a lot of the times, a lot of the trans women are gorgeous, and it's like that on purpose.
Hell, I can't even tell sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you can't tell.
But even before they got to that part, from the very beginning when they started talking about Tangerine, I just assumed she was black.
I didn't. And this why right here. A young woman stepped on the porch. Midnight black hair fell down to the small of her back. Her skin was nearly the color of burnished bronze. Under any circumstances, Buddy Lee would have found her ravishing. Her big brown doe eyes peeked out of them under flowing lashes. A defenseless damsel in goddamn distress is what Buddy Lee said. But she was she was beautiful. Yeah, and so I'm just envisioning a darker brown, bronzy, biracial woman.
Buddy Lee loved that son mama.
He did. And she loved him. She loved him. But I think she was, she probably was very gorgeous and very, she fit the prototype of a white woman. She probably was very thin, nice structure. She fit the prototype of a white woman. And was able to use that to get upward mobility. Because I think she met him in like a trailer park.
Yeah, she was from
she met him there overnight.
So what the neighbor had to do with the book? They just threw her in there just to get you off. Buddy Lee neighbor
just had a little thing for him, just a nosy neighbor. You know how moving.
When they kept talking, mentioning how many husbands she buried, I was crying. And my third one, and I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, but my fourth. I mean, she just kept going. But I think she humanized Buddy.
Yeah.
In private, Buddy was a good guy.
Because she cared for him, right? She
cared
looked
about
out
him.
for him, and she wanted to make sure Buddy was okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, Ike neighbor who ratted him out and set up.
Oh, yes.
Now, he was a dirty nigga.
He had his back against the wall, though. You got to think about it. This whole biker gang rolled up on you, put a gun to your head.
Yeah.
And tell him this house on
But
fire.
I just kept saying, I said, please.
What y'all would have did?
Please, I said, please listen to Buddy.
First of all, I wouldn't have went outside with them in my yard.
Exactly.
911.
I
But
would
you
have
hear him coming. All them, you can hear them coming. Somebody coming. No, lock the door.
You know who I was mad at?
I want you to hear Buddy Lee and Ike.
I was mad, and I don't know if y'all caught this at the end. I was mad at Slice. The whole reason why Ike went to prison was because
he took the fall for what Slice did, right?
No. Ike killed the guy that killed Slice's brother.
Slice was a piece of shit.
I think it was something he did.
And when Slice was on that phone, and that guy said, Well, Slice called the motorcycle crew, and he said, "I know who looking for Tangerine. I got somebody." You know, both of them basically had the same mission. And he was like, "Does the black guy?" It was Grayson that was like, "Does the black guy mean something to you?" He said, "No."
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do. I said, "Oh, he ain't shit." And then once you get to the end of the book, it alluded to the fact that he killed Slice. He killed Slice.
I did?
Yes.
Good.
And I'm going to tell you how I know, because when the lieutenant...
What book you read?
So I really engaged with the text. So if you right here, Detective LaPlata said, "And I'm here because there's an awful lot of people missing or dead around you. A lot of them deserved it, but some of them didn't. I don't think there was very many people who are going to shed a tear because Slice Walsh hasn't been seen in weeks."
Oh, Slice and that goddamn little shredder thing.
That's what I said.
When he shred that man, I said, "Ooh!"
Shredded his ass right on
And
up.
even the members of his club thought Grayson Camardi was a piece of shit. But I also don't think Lynette Fredrickson deserved to have her gut sprayed all across her living room floor.
Right.
So she was an innocent bastard.
She was. I said, "Oh Lord, they done shot the lady up."
The shotgun.
I felt bad about
I
that
did
part.
too. But I think it goes to
She
show
was a casualty of war.
she was. But so was Buddy.
Buddy was dying anyway. Buddy didn't die from all of that
He
stuff.
didn't, but he deserved to live his full. He deserved to die naturally.
Yeah.
He did die naturally.
Yeah.
Buddy got killed. Buddy got shot.
Yeah.
Buddy got shot.
And he was gonna take him to the hospital, but he said no need.
But he was already clammy. So they thought that everybody was dead. Ike was a genius by using that CD player as a bomb, right? When he did that, or when everybody had walked in, I'm assuming Grayson was able to make it out. Because remember Dome or whoever it was that had the conscience that knew about karma and all of that, he said everything went black. So of course he died. They all died when they walked in. They had put Ariana in the car, and Ike had gave Ariana his phone to play, and Grayson took her. And when they came back overnight, they were looking for her. Grayson had the gun pointed to her.
Right.
And so he ended up, it was Buddy who was like, "All right, we're gonna drop all that stuff. You know, just do as the guy say." That's what my daddy would ask. But they were so in tune with one another. I knew that meant, you know, because he had the knife kind of like hitting.
And that was his daddy knife.
Yes. And so he stabbed him. And Grayson, being, you know, who he is, he ended up pulling it out, which you shouldn't do. And he ended up bleeding to death.
But he let off his gun. Got stabbed.
And Ariana was perfectly fine. Ike was fine. But it got Buddy.
Yeah.
So would Buddy had eventually passed from cancer? Yes. Should he have been able to relish in the fact that they killed all of them people, even if that meant he had? I mean, I know people that had cancer that still had 2 years left, still had 3. He deserved that. At the end, I was very sad. I was sad. I really grew to love Buddy.
Oh, I love Buddy. You should hear his accent. I love.
Oh yeah, that's what I
really
put on
love
here.
Buddy.
Let's see if I can.
Loved him.
And I love Ike, because Ike wasn't a bad person.
All right, let's see.
Oh,
this the end credits.
Yeah, you gotta just go back probably a chapter, 2 chapters.
41. Dome was a big believer in karma. You
Is this
do
Ike?
foul shit,
This just
foul
the
shit
narrator.
comes back to you tenfold.
You'll know when he come on.
Dome couldn't think of anything much fouler than kidnapping a little girl. When they had gotten back to the clubhouse, he'd been tasked with watching the curly-headed cherub. He wasn't sure how he'd drawn that straw, but he didn't want somebody like too much watching her. He'd probably offer her a sip of his Jack Daniels. Dome tapped the remote and
I
flipped
need to
through
go back
100 different...
Forward or back.
38. Buddy Lee tried to jump up out of the chair, but the handcuff caught him short. He sat back down as Gerald closed the door behind him. He walked to the other side of the metal table and pulled the chair back just far enough to stay out of Buddy Lee's reach. It has always bewildered me why these tables are bolted to the floor, but the chairs aren't. This room is supposed to be where defendants meet their attorneys. If you are that angry at your
Oh, that's when the husband goes talk to Buddy Lee.
or her with a table, you probably are guilty as sin, Gerald said. He smiled at Buddy Lee. A purplish welt had sprung up on Gerald's chin. Another one was located just above his eye. You killed my boy, Buddy Lee said. He instinctively wrenched his handcuffed arm. Buddy, you need to listen to me. You killed my son, Buddy Lee seethed. Gerald shook his head.
I need
To
to
an
get to.
observer,
I want to get to. Hold on.
appeared
I want to get to a part where it's
Well,
just
it's
I.
them two back and forth.
Yeah, it's them two back and forth.
The way he had his little southern drawl. Now
23, 22. Buddy Lee parked his truck next to Ike's dually.
Okay.
His truck shuddered as the engine dieseled for a few seconds. Buddy Lee got out and let the truck shimmy and shake as he walked to the front door. He took a quick glimpse back at his and Ike's trucks sitting side by side. It was like seeing a pig sitting next to a princess. He raised his hand to knock on the door, but it opened before he could touch it. Ike stood in the doorway. We can talk in the kitchen, Ike said as he stepped aside. Buddy Lee entered the house. Ike closed and locked the door. Nice place, Buddy Lee said. It's all right, Ike said. Buddy Lee grunted. I got milk crates for a coffee table. This is more than all right, Buddy Lee said. Ike pulled out a chair and gestured for Buddy Lee to do the same. You got anything to drink around here? Buddy Lee asked. I thought we said you wasn't going to drink while we do this, Ike said. Buddy Lee ran a hand through his hair. We said that I'd cut.
Tell me that's not true. Y'all know that's true.
my
Buddy Lee
favorite
asked.
part, y'all, was when they went in there and kidnapped that old ass daddy.
Oh my God, no.
Yes, me
Listen.
too.
I was like, I could just
He
again.
fell for it too.
He
Yes,
sure
he
did.
did.
Because what kind of people really open the door and come outside and help somebody?
At 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
At 1 in the
Risk your
morning.
ass. Talk
Yeah,
about
like,
what you gonna do for me.
exactly. I said, when they got his old ass and put him in that damn trunk.
Yeah, because they got Tangerine to set them up.
Yes, she went out the window.
Yes.
It was a good book, but it was a good book. It ended like, but
Yeah,
it
you
took a
couldn't
long
eat that.
time
It
to
did.
get to.
Alright.
They went on this rat race trying to
did.
find Tangerine. I was like, God damn, if they
All
how
over
they find
Virginia.
her.
Yes.
Yes. The only part for me was when it got to the point, I feel like I started figuring it out at the end. Like I knew, I'm like, okay, the motorcycle gang is helping the judge. And
Oh, you did know that.
judge is fucking Tangerine. I figured out, I
Really?
knew it right. I was like, that is, because when he kept saying like, trying to help him with something that the guy would say after he got the phone with him when he give his orders. I'm like, that's what it is. As Tangerine started talking, when they realized that with the W band was the him and the
As soon as he said
the
that,
initial, they called him this. I said, that's what it is.
Because I knew it was a public official.
That's
The
what
way
it
she was so scared, like no, like you.
I was
can't get
starting to
away
believe
from
it was Slice. I was getting so
I
confused.
figured out. I knew it was the judge.
I tell you one thing, they
that's
dropped some bodies
That
though.
was who was calling. That's who was causing.
They sure did.
Calling the shots. I was like, oh, he the one that's calling.
When
the
she was like,
motorcycle
it's so
gang.
much bigger.
That's him.
I'm like, who
I
could
knew
it
it.
be?
That's all part of it. That I was like, oh, I got this figured out.
And I just love all the references to the places I'm from.
And then at the end, Tangerine ended up being very good friends with
So that was his second chance as well.
Yes, he was like, nobody else can die. That he cared about from that community.
Yes, and to be more understanding of the community. Because not only, are you gay, but you're trans. I know some trans people don't consider themselves gay, so. But, yeah.
When Buddy Lee said, because I'm an ally.
That's right.
He had said something about your balls. Your balls.
I gotta find that part because I had highlighted it. I said Shaw.
Your balls is
Clanking.
clinking or something.
He was like, they must be made out of something.
A brass, because all
Uh-huh.
I hear is your balls clinking or something. I was like, Buddy Lee and them saying.
Buddy Lee was funny. I loved him.
And he made it not be so, like, it was like him and Ike were really polar opposites. It couldn't have been no more opposite. All right, so I literally highlighted it and I said Shaw.
I love how he wanted to write the book.
Oh yes.
I absolutely love it. Reading it.
Kia used to write in a book too.
Oh my goodness.
Kia lost her grandma.
Oh
Yeah.
really?
Mm-hmm. She lost her grandma.
Yeah, my coworkers, the Caucasian persuasion, asked if they could. Oh, Miss Smith, can I borrow your books? I said yeah. Then I thought about it. I said. No, ma'am.
No.
I would be in the nearest meeting
God.
or something. The way I write and
Yes.
interact with these books, calling it like it is. But they don't need to know my inner dialogue. No, ma'am. Yeah, because no,
This
ma'am.
mama is batshit
Crazy.
crazy.
When she get to pulling them bugs off her face
Oh my God.
in that book. Oh, where is it? It couldn't have been that far away because I remember seeing it. But yeah, overall, okay, that was my rating. Ma, what was your rating while I look for this? Out of 5.
A 2.5.
Wow.
Only because I felt like the beginning of the book dragged.
Oh wow.
Only
Oh,
because
wow.
I felt like it took too long to get to the nitty gritty.
I was enjoying the ride. So I gave it a 4. And that was only because by the time it took to the end, but I figured it out. I was like, oh, okay.
I think because of what it like just the vision that it created for
The
me, I will
visual.
give it a 3. I give it a 3. But it definitely took a while in the beginning because I was like, Lord, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through this.
It did drag.
And that's saying a lot for you, because you used to be the first one to
Yeah.
finish the book.
Cause her and the 7 husbands. Oh,
Love
I
that
said,
book.
Lord,
I
if
love
they
that
could, if this book ever go in,
Yeah,
and it
it
kept
does.
going
I
and
enjoyed
going
it.
and
I
going.
liked it.
I mean, it was a
liked it.
good read, but
I
I'm like,
liked it.
okay,
It
how
was.
many parties they gonna go to? How many?
It
Oh
was,
my
You
God!
know, I did it on Audible though, so and I speed my Audible up.
I was going to say, listen to your audible. I'm like, is that how slow they talk?
Uh-huh,
No,
I
you
go
can
to
speed it up.
1.5.
I do mine fast. I was saying, listen
I'm
to
at
yours. I'm like,
1.5.
Lord, it's slow. Because I do 1.5
Uh-huh.
too.
And
I had time to really listen.
I said, oh my God,
And
you
then
talk
in
that slow.
between time, I've been doing some free books on Audible, and one of the books that I just finished at the beginning of the week was based in the 757.
Oh, was
Yeah, so
it?
they was coming to Richmond too.
Here you go. This you, Mom. So this is what Buddy said. Goddamn, son, they must clank when you walk. I said, what? Your brass balls. But I gotta admit, I like it. They wouldn't be expecting it. Yeah, that was it. Cause he was just saying, cause it was like the stuff I won't scared.
Of nothing.
No.
That's why
and
I
he
like
was
it.
thorough with his
Click
thought
on,
process.
switch
Buddy
those.
was a little messy with his
Yeah.
stuff. Ike was gonna be like,
Ike was precision clean.
he
Yes.
was.
Yes.
And if this was Ike
Yeah.
at late 40s, maybe 50s,
imagine
He was
young
terrible in his 20s.
good
What
God,
they kept calling
Riot.
him? Riot.
Riot
Yes,
probably was
yes,
something
yes.
else.
Yeah.
Did she got another book with that title? With Riot with that name in it?
I can't remember, but I heard All Sinners Bleed is a good one.
He got another one because my
got a
coworker,
He had
she said
fun.
she read that, and she's a Caucasian lady, and she
Some
read.
of my coworkers too.
They read it.
They read this.
But I feel like that
mine
book
too.
is not just a book for black. Like I don't feel like it's like
it's
some
not, 'cause you got Buddy Lee in them in there.
You
yeah,
do.
it's very much an American book.
It is. That is a black American and white American experience.
Yes,
It was
Yes.
something I saw a bunch. Okay,
absolutely.
I think I had started.
I don't know if I
listened to
agree
the
with that.
things
For
For
real? What?
King of Ashes.
Especially in the
was one.
South. Yeah, I heard the King of Ashes. Absolutely.
You think because we know the author black, you feel like it's for us?
I have white coworkers that was
'Cause
like, "Oh, you're
nothing
gonna love
about
this.
it-
This was good."
Yeah, nothing about it gave me that
This is a
white
black
people
story.
wouldn't care for it, or it's not for them.
And it painted us in a
I don't
very
like
good
that.
light.
I think so too.
It painted us in a. I love
Yeah.
the black characters to be resilient and to come out on top. I mean, it
I
was
like
excellent.
that it to me, Ike was the definition of fuck around and find out.
Yep.
Yeah, he
So,
was.
That's what I like
He
about
was.
it. Like, yeah.
Ike was
No.
definitely fucking around and find
And
out.
I also appreciated at the beginning how he hadn't even gotten a speeding ticket. Like Ike was so on the straight and narrow. His business was profiting. Like it goes to show, even though this is a fictional book, I know it is truly inspired by a lot of nonfiction about people he know and seen in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy had, I think Ike went to prison for murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It had like a very successful landscaping.
Is he from Richmond area?
He's not from Richmond. He's from the 757.
757.
Oh, he from South
Yeah.
He was
That's-
And he got a
And
bunch
that's
of
who you're
books.
going to see tomorrow, right?
He won't be there. Ladarian
Okay.
Williams is one of the authors that's gonna be there.
What did he write? Oh, the blood.
He wrote Blood at the Root.
And
And
where
it's-
is that tomorrow?
That's gonna be at shout out to Resist Booksellers in Petersburg, Virginia.
Okay.
That's gonna be at
What time
Appomattox
is it?
Regional Government School. It's from 8 to 5.
That's,
I did hear about
Mhm.
that.
I saw
So-
why you posted, but
That's
I
so
feel like, I
freaking
mean,
cool.
Connie got
But
work
next
and
year
just
they're
gotta
gonna
be-
try to. He told me S.A. Cosby as well as Sadiqa Johnson are so
I
popular
can't
now
believe-
that you gotta ask
Oh.
them like a year in advance.
okay. Did y'all put a face to S.A. Cosby? Have y'all looked at it?
I
No,
looked at-
and what
yeah.
does essay stand
Yeah.
for? Is it cute?
It's like Sean something. I could be wrong, but I know it's. I looked it up. I like that he actually go by his real name. These are his initials,
Yeah.
but like this is his real name. Y'all know who do we like? Frida McFadden. You know that's not her
Yeah.
name at all.
And I don't think that's her.
I don't
The
think
more I
hers
look
is
at
her.
it, I see wig. And
She wears
I
a wig.
see
I think
whatever,
she-
to hide her identity. Like that's not. I think
She
I
that's
hides
think-
her.
I
You
think
know
it's a
she's a
man.
physician.
right. And so she
So-
hides her identity.
But
But it's
physician
giving
can
me-
still be a guy.
it's giving me
I
trans.
don't know if it's very much.
Yeah.
I
it's
mean,
giving me
literally,
trans.
while we talking, she's on that. I mean, look at it. The wig
Yeah.
is so.
I keep saying, I was like, when I look at Frida, I'm like, Frida is not who we think she is.
Look at that.
That is a wig and like that's a man.
All right, one word to describe the book, and we're gonna end it. One word to describe it.
Come back to me.
One word to describe the show. Final thought.
It was amazing.
One word. Trying to how to make this a word.
What thought?
I just think it's FAFO. Like that is just the epitome of FAFO for me.
What is that?
Fuck around and find out.
I got you. Okay.
Absolutely.
I got you.
FAFO.
For us, by us. Job well done.
Fubu.
One word. What thought?
It ended well. It took me on a ride.
Took you on a ride.
Took me on a ride.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The scenic route.
This took me the scenic route, but ended well.
The Virginia route.
Mm-hmm.